Hello, my students. Welcome to Agial Language Schools. Today, inshallah, we will start Unit 10, Part 1. Let's see. Unit 10, Space Travel. Space Travel. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Let's start with this. Commander, satellite, cosmonaut, astronaut, planet. Do you know the name of planets? Do you know the names of planets? Write them in your notebook. Orbit, parachute, spacecraft, space engineer. Spacecraft is a vehicle that we can use to travel to space. Okay? Astronaut, a person who can travel into space. And also a cosmonaut, a person who can travel into space. Let's read the words again. Commander, satellite, cosmonaut, astronaut, planet, orbit, parachute, spacecraft, space engineer. Please open your student book, page 100. Okay. Unit 10, Space Travel, Space Pioneers. Please, 3 minutes to read this page, then we will listen and discuss. Okay? Class, are you ready for listening? Let's see and listen.
Pupils Book, Unit 10, page 100. Reading.
Space Pioneers. Valentina Tereshkova. Cosmonaut. The first woman in space. This photograph shows Valentina in her spacesuit.
Key dates. 1937. Born near Yaroslavl, West Russia. 1945. Started school. 1954. Started working in a factory. Continued learning in her free time. 1959. First parachute jump. 1962. Joined the space program. 1963. Became the first woman in space. Married Andrian Nikolaev. 1964. Her daughter was born. Trained as a cosmonaut engineer. 1969 to 97. Worked in the Russian Air Force. 2007. Told her dream, a flight to Mars.
Valentina Tereshkova was born on the 6th of March 1937 near the city of Yaroslavl in western Russia. Her father was a tractor driver. Her mother worked in a factory. When she was 2 years old, her father died in a wartime battle. She started school when she was 8. At 17, she started working in a factory. Valentina enjoyed learning, so she continued her education in her free time. There was a flying club in Yaroslavl. Valentina joined, and she learned to skydive. She made her first parachute jump on the 21st of May, 1959. She was 22 years old. She became a spinning engineer at the factory, but she parachuted from planes many times. In 1961, the Russian space engineers had an idea. They wanted a Russian to be the first woman cosmonaut. The woman could not be too tall or too heavy. She had to be young enough and fit enough to fly in space. This was the description. Age, under 30 years old. Weight, under 70 kilograms. Height, under 170 centimeters. Important, she must be able to parachute. Valentina fitted this description. More than 50 young women did the tests, but only a few women were good enough. Valentina and 4 other women joined the space program in February 1962. Valentina trained hard. In November, the space engineers chose her for the special flight. "You will be the first woman in space," they told her. Valentina was delighted.
Class, who can tell me who was Valentina Tereshkova? Who was she? She was a Russian cosmonaut, the first woman in space. Excellent. When was she born? When was she born? In 1937. Excellent. What did her parents do? Her father was a tractor driver and her mother worked in a factory. Excellent. What did she like doing? She liked learning. When was her first parachute jumping? In 1959. Excellent. Please, let's move to 101. Okay, now we are on page 101. 3 minutes to read and then we will listen. Are you ready for listening? Okay.
At last, the day of the flight arrived. On the 16th of June, 1963, Valentina took off in the spacecraft Vostok 6. The flight lasted almost 3 days. During the flight, she spoke to people on the ground. Her call sign was Chaika. In English, this means seagull. This is the word in Russian. Chaika. In November, she married another cosmonaut. Her husband was Andrian Nikolaev. Their daughter, Elena, was born in 1964. Valentina trained as a cosmonaut engineer, then she worked in the Russian Air Force until 1997. Valentina Tereshkova became a hero of the Soviet Union. She received the United Nations Gold Medal of Peace. On her 70th birthday, she told a newspaper reporter, "I still have one dream, a flight to Mars. It is the dream of all cosmonauts."
The first men in space exploration. Vostok 1. This space rocket took Yuri Gagarin into orbit round the Earth. Yuri Gagarin, Russia. The first man in space. The first orbit of the Earth. The 12th of April, 1961. Alexei Leonov, Russia. The first spacewalk. The 18th of March, 1965. Neil Armstrong, America. The first man on the moon. The 21st of July, 1969.
Okay, who can answer this question? How long was her flight? How long was her flight? 3 days. What did her call sign, Chaika, mean in English? Seagull. What was her dream? Who can tell me what was her dream? Her dream was a flight to Mars. Please move to page 102 to answer some questions. Okay, now exercise 1. Answer the questions. Number 1. When was Valentina Tereshkova born? When? In 1937. 37. Where did she work at 17? In a factory. Bravo. Where did Valentina learn to skydive? At a flying club in Yugoslavia. At a flying club in Yugoslavia. Number 4. What was the Russian space engineer's idea? Who can tell me their idea? A Russian and the first woman cosmonaut. A Russian as the first what? Number 5, how many women joined the space program in February 1972? 15. How long did Valentina's flight last? Almost 3 days. On her 17th birthday, what was her dream? A flight to Mars. Go. Who was the first man in space? Who was the first man in space? Yuri Gagarin. Change the color. Number 9. What did Alexei Leonov do first? What did he do? Walked in space. Walked in space. The last question. Who was the first man on the moon? Neil Armstrong. Okay. Let's move to exercise number 2. Let's read. Talk about the answers to these questions. Number 1. The first woman cosmonaut had to be young and fit. Why? Number 2. Did the Russian engineers want a small woman or a big woman? And why? Number 3. Do you have the same dream as Valentina Tereshkova? Why or why not? Please, with your friend, think about these questions and answer them in your notebook. Exercise number 3. Choose the best word to complete each sentence. You have words here and you have 6 sentences. Please, now we will start. Number 1. Your space is very important, so you must work hard at school. Who can tell me? Your education. Let's write education here. cross it out, cross it out. Okay. Number 2. Is space exciting or too dangerous? Is space what? Exploration. That's right. Cross it out. Number 3. This year, our sports space include football training and swimming lessons. Our sports program. Cross it out. Number 4. Alfie can run 100 meters in 15 seconds, so he is very fit. Cross out fit and write it here. Okay. Number 5. Last week, our school space, a very important visitor. Received. Bravo. Cross it out. The last sentence, the children's performance of the Ugly Duckling space 1 hour lasted. Okay, please answer your booklet page 92. Thank you and see you next class inshallah. Goodbye.